Hey guys, Greg Alexander. Today I'm going to talk about all things stickworm Senko. Things you don't know about a Senko or stickworm that may help you catch more fish, ways to rig it, the whole deal. I mean, this is something that if you don't know anything about it, you're going to learn a lot. If you think you know a lot about it, you might pick up something. So stay tuned, watch this video to the end because there's little nuggets all the way through. So what is a stickworm or a Senko? Everybody hears the word Senko or stickworm. Where it comes, it's a do-nothing worm, basically. This particular one is a Yamamoto Senko. Yumdinger makes them. Tiki Stick makes them. All kinds of off-brand, different brand manufacturers make some type of stickworm. So which one should you use? Does it matter? Does it matter if you use a Senko? Does it matter if you use an Ocho? Does it matter if you use, any of the other brands of stickworm? And I'm going to tell you, it really does matter. They don't all have the same action. They don't all have the same sink rate. They don't all have the same salt content. They don't all have the same flavoring, or as a matter of fact, any flavoring. Some of them even smell like and taste like toxic plastic. So all these things matter. I mean, you can get a bass to bite, just about anything at any time, but certain ones are better than others. So let's start with a Yamamoto Senko. My personal favorite. What are the advantages of a Yamamoto Senko? Well, other than it being the first one out there, and other than the fact that they probably have more colors than any other brand, including laminates, metal flake, and everything else in the world, a Yamamoto Senko has the perfect, in my opinion, the perfect combination of softness, durability, and salt content. See, if I hold that Senko like that, it's got a right good bend to it. Really good action. When a bass bites a hold of a Senko with all that salt in there, salt to a bass is blood. So he thinks, I've got him, I've injured him, he's mine, and he doesn't spit him out. Holds on to him, and you tend to catch that fish. Well, all Senkos are not created equal. We have 4-inch, 5-inch, 6-inch, and even 8-inch versions of a Senko, which all could be tailored to the size of the forage in the lake, river, or stream, or pond, the reservoir that you're fishing. But all these plastics, even in the same brand of Senko, are not created equal. This black and blue one, for example, sinks faster than this green pumpkin one. Why? It's got something to do with that coloring or something that they add in there, and it makes this Senko a little bit denser than this one, even though they're the same exact Senko other than color. Makes it a little bit denser, it sinks a little bit faster. So this is black and blue, this is green pumpkin, two of the most popular Senkos. And then you have a metal flake Senko. This Senko has flake, plus it has metal flake in it also, a little bit of shine. Well, what's that do? I mean, it gives it some flash, and that could be good in situations where you're fishing around a lot of shad or something. But that metal flake actually makes this even heavier. So it'll even throw farther, and it'll even sink a little bit faster. So if you're looking for something to get a little bit deeper, you want to know that the metal flake ones are going to get a little bit deeper. You want to know that the black and blue colorings are going to make them get a little bit deeper, a little bit faster. And then we have different kinds of Senkos, of course. This is an off-brand Tiki Stick Senko. And this Tiki Stick Senko comes in a lot of swirl patterns, And this Senko actually, to the touch, feels a little bit softer than a regular Senko. But it has, this is actually not a Tiki Stick. This is a Black Magic Plastics. Sorry about that. But it smells very plasticky. And for me, I'm not going to use this in any type of a situation where it's a slow sink situation for a fish, just because in my mind, anything that distracts from the reality of what I'm throwing, if I have alternatives, I'm going to throw the alternative. So this one feels softer. Well, why does it feel softer? Does it have better action? No, it doesn't have better action. It just feels soft. Why does it feel softer? Because it doesn't have that crystal salt in there, which gives it a little bit stiffer feel. So, but this is, you know, you can use this for a variety of different things. Then you have like tiki sticks, which have an anise smell to them. That's a nice soft stick bait. I don't have one here with me right now. That's a very light bait. It sinks really slow compared to a Senko, so you have to put a bigger hook in it, or maybe a little Nico weight or something if you want to get it down faster. But the thing that I always liked about the tiki stick is it had a lot of good colors and it had a good flavor to them. But they were durable, extremely durable. I mean, you could get, you know, 3 times as many fish out of a tiki stick as you could a Senko, because a Senko tends to tear easy because of all the salt. And then lastly, we have the old Berkley General. Well, that might be the stiffest of all because it has both salt and little flavor crystals. There's like flavor crystals in here, and that just stiffens it up a little bit more. But the good thing about this one is this actually puts off a smell into the water that when the fish smell it, they're like a shark coming to blood, and they come and get this Max Scent General. And it's become, you know, one of my go-to Senkos or go-to stick baits anymore. So let's talk about how you rig them. Now, there's 3 ways to rig a Senko. The first way is Texas rig, which I throw Senko most of the time, Texas rig, because usually when I'm throwing a Senko, I'm throwing it in the brush, under trees, around, you know, docks and sticky type cover. And I like to Texas rig it. It takes away a little bit of the action, but you get a different kind of action from it too. You get more of a skating action, which on certain days catches more than the wacky rig action. But a Texas rig Senko, take a Texas rig, it's a skip gap hook. You just stick it in here, you know, to the straight part of the hook till it starts to bend, come out the side, put it up on there, turn it around. And just bear with me, you guys that have done this 1,000 times, because I got more stuff coming. And then you just kind of measure where it goes and put it through the hook or through the worm. And then this one has a little gap in it, which you could leave it in there, but I like to just back it up a little bit and text pose the tip of the hook so it doesn't get hooked. So that's Texas rig. Throw it anywhere you want. Now, you got a couple type of wacky hooks. A lot of people throw the little circle type wacky hook. This is a weedless one. You can get them non-weedless too if you're just throwing around rocks or dock pilings, things that aren't real snaggy. And this one is simple. Find the middle egg sac part of the worm, this little smooth part here, and stick it through there. And that's it. That's it. Throw it out, it sinks like this. Nice action. And then if you're dealing with some bigger fish or heavier type cover, you want to throw maybe even a bigger straight shank weedless hook. It has 2 pieces of fluorocarbon, heavy fluorocarbon on there for a weed guard. And you just rig it the same way wacky as you would with the little small hook, like that. And that gives you a little bit more beef. You're throwing a little heavier line, the water's a little bit dingier, you're dealing with bigger fish, and you just want a bigger hook for a better chance at catching fish. So there are the 3 ways to rig a Senko, the 3 types of hooks. And the last thing you can do with a Senko is if you're trying to get it on the bottom and working on the bottom, it's hot and sunny or cold and the fish are on the bottom and they're not coming up for it, you just want to work it across the bottom, then you can Texas rig it with a weight, or you can also, what's become very popular now is Nico rig it. So you just take the Senko again and you put a little nail in the head of the Senko and then you wacky rig it. And when you do it that way, so you want to, when you Nico rig it, you want to change the direction of your hook. Instead of going across the worm like that, across the worm, you want to go from the front of the worm, not from the back. Take the hook and put it in the worm this way and then come up that way so that it's rigged like that. So when you have the weight in there, say, and you're pulling it like this, the fish comes up behind it, he gets that hook. See, so you don't want to rig it with the hook point towards the head. You want to rig it with the hook point towards the back. So that's Nico rigging a Senko. So those are the different kind of Senkos. What's different about them: the weight, the action, the flavor, the salt, the softness, the durability. All those things matter. I suggest you try for yourself which ones work best for you. Again, if you like my videos, please hit the subscribe button. I've got new videos coming out every Tuesday and Thursday on all things bass fishing. Again, I appreciate you watching, and have a blessed day.